Welcome, one and all, to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast for our review of Backlash. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your King of Extreme, joined by my indomitable broadcast partners, Chicken, and the very, very pleased
Tony fucking G.
Tony. You had some thoughts on this particular event, sir. Okay, well, there was a quite an event we saw this evening. Chicken, were you aware that we witnessed this evening the greatest match ever?
Oh, and beyond. We saw...
And that was the match where the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits became the Viking Profits.
We saw ninjas. Yeah. We seen... Yeah. Tony, I feel your sentiment. You know, I just poured a little glass. I took a nice big old swig of my scotch. I'll pour a little bit more in there because what a shit show. We, the people, are fucking disappointed. That was terrible. What a shitty pay-per-view.
Yeah, there's been better. There's been better. Let's go through this.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no.
Just a sec.
While Tony's gathering himself here, I tried to get my wife to watch WWE for the first time in, I don't know, years. And we tune in to the spectacle that was
the Viking Profits.
The Viking Profits. Like hanging out and having a good time. And then I'm not going to get into like some of the thoughts I had on there, but like we saw apparently Star Wars is real and they use the Force to pull a piece of chicken out of a bush. I don't know how to piece of fucking chicken was in the bush. But he used the Force to get it. And then we learned that one of them's cute, one of them's not. Never really fucking paid attention to that, I guess. But at least we know that now. And there's an octopus in the trash can. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
So
fucking cheers, folks. What the fuck was that?
Viking Profits, we hardly knew you.
Hey, Phil, before I get too deep into this, you want to give any thoughts before I start talking about this show?
The floor is yours, sir.
So, first and foremost, the show literally just ended. I retained.
Barely.
I barely retained.
Congrats. As long as Phil doesn't win, I'm good.
There you go.
I wouldn't brag too hard. They're triple place, Chicken. You came in third place on this one.
With one match, and it was all shitty because they fucking had one match that they, like, because of this dumbass tag team good dumpster fire, they literally put him in a dumpster. They should have just lit it on fire.
Whether by inch or by mile, sir, my silver medal is insured, and you can stay down there with the bronze. Yeah. So... Anywho,
second to last.
So triple place, Chicken. What it seems like Tony here's got some deeper thoughts he needs to get out. So T, how about you just hit KOE Nation, Big Bucket Entertainment, and all the folks at Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. What you thinking here?
So we didn't have room for Andrade Apollo Crews on the main card.
Oh, you mean a good match? We didn't have time for a good match. Okay.
No, we didn't have time for that on the main card because we had other stuff that we had to put on the pay-per-view. We didn't even bother booking Seth Rollins versus Aleister Black for reasons I don't yet understand. We did have time for a bunch of clusterfuck matches, and I really don't think any of them really broke the 3-star scale, if we're going to be completely honest. And then we'll get into those here in a minute. But the lead-in to the supposed greatest wrestling match ever, after a bunch of pretty subpar matches, was a backlot fight that never even evolved into a match between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. And what happened in this match, I'll be frank, I thought that the worst cinematic thing to happen this year in wrestling was going to be either A, the Money in the Bank match, or B, the Stadium Stampede over on AEW. But you know what? Vince McMahon said, fuck no, planting my flag right fucking here. I will make damn sure that the worst cinematic pile of shit wrestling match happens on my pay-per-view. Fuck that great Intercontinental title match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. There's no room on Backlash for that. We got to make room for my tag team non-match, where not only do they use the Force to summon turkey legs out of a bush, not only do they fight fucking ninjas, not only do they throw bowling balls into each other's crotch, not only do they break windows of Braun Strowman, not only do they turn on each other and throw each other through windows and then make jokes and then have Family Guy flashbacks in the middle of the motherfucker, multiple flashbacks. Then, to cap it all off, there's a fucking octopus tentacle in the dumpster of the fucking high spot, if you can even bother calling it that. I cannot tell you how disappointed, pissed off, and disgusted I am with this pay-per-view as a whole. And anybody that signed up for the WWE Network, free or not, especially the ones that had paid for it in the past. If you'd paid for this thing in the past, and this wasn't your free month, I fucking pity you. Pity me, because I've been paying for this thing for over 2 years, for sure. Maybe 3. And I am fucking irate right now that was even remotely put on my screen as a pay-per-view quality piece of entertainment. That sucked so goddamn hard. I am pissed. But we trudge on. So, yes. Before Phil and I get into the card as a whole, is there anything else anybody'd like to fucking say? Because that pay-per-view sucked ass.
I have to sign off. I have an upset
I don't blame
wife. you. I have an upset wife because I made her watch some of this. And then I put time aside to podcast. I'm in the doghouse because of this goddamn thing now. So thanks, fucking McMahon. Jesus Christ.
I wish
so
that was
real
a joke
quick
at all.
Real quick, I'm gonna summon some more Jura. Oh. And I will have a drink to hopefully something to look forward to. What do we got next? We got Extreme Rules.
No, we don't. No, we don't. What's going to happen at Extreme Rules? I swear to God, it's going to be a fucking monster. Frankenstein is going to come out of the middle of the ring and probably eat somebody because we don't give a shit about actual wrestling. I just,
Yep. The WWE is failing to evolve.
It's evolving.
In the last 3 months, it's de-evolved, and
I don't even know.
Phil, I think you nailed it right on the head there. Congratulations, champ, on retaining. I will not be joining, as I have not watched all the matches yet, so it would be not fair for me to give a review. The few that I did, especially the damn Sheamus. God damn it, Sheamus. I'd be tied with the champ if it wasn't for Sheamus. What did they say? What did they say was Hardy continues to disappoint. And yes, though that rang very, very true after that match was over. So congrats. As long as Phil does not win it, I'm good. We the people may not be satisfied with the pay-per-view, but satisfied with the results. I am signing out for the night. Gentlemen, you have fun shitting on this one. I'm out.
I will.
Enjoy
Cheers.
the couch, sir.
Yeah, I'll enjoy the couch and cheers. Ting. Have a good night.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you check out
Not
Revolutionary
over
Wrestling
yet.
Podcast on YouTube,
We
Big
got
Buck
one more
Entertainment,
to
all the good stuff. What?
go. All right.
All right.
Later, Jake.
Peace.
So
Okay, let's
now we got a better shot of this gorgeous mug, anyways, folks. This is what you're really here to see. Devilishly handsome outlaw that I am.
let's just get into this, and I do mean this as in a pile of shit. The women's triple threat tag team match. The only positive thing I can say right now off the top of my head is I'm glad when we are doing triple threat tag team matches, it's not two people in the ring, because that's fucking stupid. If you're gonna do a triple threat tag team match, two people need to be in the ring, plus the third fucking person that's a part of the match. Three people for a triple threat. That's the only thing that makes sense. They did that. They're starting to do that now. Thank you for finally getting the fucking rules. You know what? This was actually a better opener than this piece of shit card deserved. I gave it 2.75. If it would have gone probably 3, 4, 5 minutes longer, it could have been a lot higher. But it was exactly what we expected.
I liked this match, and little did I know that this was probably going to be one of the highlights of the show.
Yep.
I gave it 3 stars.
Wish I would have rated it higher, because
Yeah,
it deserved it after watching the rest.
Yeah, they put on a hell of a show.
Love Alexa, love Sasha. I think there's a lot of animosity, real animosity and chemistry there down the line. But we'll probably never get to see that, because the whole fucking point of this is to get to Sasha Bailey, and we've had to milk that for 2 fucking years. Moving along.
Apollo Andrade we didn't even get to see because it was on the pre-show, and they didn't even broadcast it on the network.
No, why bother? Why show a fucking good match? And you know what? We saw at the end of the match, I don't know, Kevin Owens got involved. It wasn't even a good fucking match because we had to have outside interference. It was a bunch of bullshit. Nobody fucking cares, so we can't rate it. God.
So Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. This was the match that really all the stakes for the title were on tonight, because
our title.
The Viking Raiders versus Street Profits didn't happen as an official match, but oh boy, something
Let's
happened.
get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
But Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. I had Sheamus, as did Tony. Let's see. I had 2.5 stars because it was a good match. But there was a couple of big botches. Jeff Hardy just about killed Sheamus at one point.
There was a
about
couple
broke
matches.
his neck.
Yeah, I couldn't get past that. And the fact that they had a really, really great pre-show match a month ago, I had way higher hopes for this, but the ending was decent. They got past all the botches, but I still only gave it 2.25 because the botches were just bad. Really bad. I couldn't get past it. And notice a trend here from this point forward. Botch, shit, garbage. What's next? The Nia Jax Asuka match. That's right. The one where Asuka tried to have a good match with Nia Jax, who hurts everybody she gets in the ring with. And yeah, almost did here tonight again. But thankfully, Asuka somehow found a way not to win, but to get out of there with her legs and arms still intact. No concussions we know of.
Double count out loss, so Nia still keeps a little bit of heat.
Yep, 1.5 stars because that was fucking stupid.
I agreed.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
1.5 is more than enough because a double count out for this. And then Asuka celebrated. Yeah! Oh, I win! Oh, retain! This is stupid. Just fucking give her a clean win. She has not been able to overcome the loss to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania since you did that. It was a shocking moment. It was a great match. She has not been able to recover since that because of the fucking bad booking she's been a part of since. And you put her in this situation. It's a fucking disaster.
Okay, so you really enjoyed that, T.
Yep, that was great.
Moving on, Braun just goes on a warpath. I like his new entrance with the train motif. That actually works.
Sure.
Now I was shocked. I mean, it was 2 people versus 1, Tony. I mean, if Braun's just one guy,
at least
Miz and Morrison.
The only thing I can say here is at least this wasn't a 2 people are going to be co-champion match. And we got a little bit of that nonsense where Miz pulled Morrison off when he go, oh, shit, I'm sorry. Couldn't get invested into this because the build to this was a bunch of backstage Saved by the Bell type storyline nonsense, and it just didn't.
And it did debut with a music video.
Oh, well, thank goodness we had that, because that's what we want from our Universal Championship, the thing that they protected so hard since they debuted it and put it on Finn Balor. Oh, that injury really fucking cursed a bad spot on that belt, didn't it? Well, 1.75, because it couldn't even remotely reach 2.
And I agreed with that as well. It was 175, and really it was the music video that kicked it up from 1.5.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably would have gone to 2-star if we had a Fiend promo at the end of that.
Yes, the Fiend would have.
We needed that.
Cut in. That would have really brought that over the top.
But no, it's been a month since the Fiend's been on TV, because we should just keep him off TV because he's the most hottest thing in the fucking company. Yeah, let's do that. Moving right along, the WWE Championship match. Drew McIntyre defending against Bobby Lashley. And I don't know, those of you watching, did you happen to catch our preview prediction video where I said Drew McIntyre is going to retain because somehow Lana's going to come down and cost Bobby the match? Ah!
Now, Tony, promise you're going to use your wrestling prediction powers for good, not evil.
Phil, I'd like to tell you that I could, but I could be in a cinematic match tomorrow using my Jedi Professor X knowledge with the fucking Viking Raiders, apparently. But this match, the WWE title match, you know what? It was better than it could have been. Had you taken out the outside interference and actually let these two guys go, they probably would have had about the same match. Why? Because Bobby Lashley sucks, and he's been in the business for like 20 years. I'm sorry, but Bobby Lashley damn near paralyzed Drew McIntyre at least once in this match. Bobby, dude, you should be in NXT. You suck. Get better. Dude, that's why you have not wrestled Brock Lesnar. Because if they put you in the ring with Brock Lesnar, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to injure Brock Lesnar, or Brock Lesnar's going to get pissed and he's going to knock you the fuck out in the middle of the match.
50-50. Yeah, either one.
Drew retained.
Yep,
3.25.
I gave it 3 stars. It was an okay match. But like you said, it was the predictable outside interference hooey. So, and then we move on to the very short-lived Viking Prophets. We hardly knew ye. You battled ninjas. You went to war against the powers of evil, and you came out triumphant. But then dissent within your ranks led to the dissolution of the Viking Prophets, and it became the Street Profits and the War Viking Raider Experience Machines from Outer Space Ultimate Thrill Ride. Once again.
Akira Tozawa is now
a ninja?
A ninja grandmaster that has apparently like masked Zeus from No Holds Barred among his ninja ranks.
Boy, that's not going to age well.
Where they then ascended a truck and they all dived into a dumpster and then cut comedy promos, and the ref hit on the fugly Viking Raider, and it was fucking 8 shades of terrible, and I cannot stress this enough. I did not know that 2020 was going to be the year of the cinematic match, but we found that out fairly quickly. We're only 6 months into this roller coaster without a fucking end of 2020, and I can't wait for one to see how many more cinematic piles of shit we're going to have before this year is over. I feel like this is a staple now, and it's not just WWE exclusive. Every promotion is going to do this. The ones that have a budget, meaning 2. So, if you like movies and you like wrestling,
oh boy,
2020 is the year for you.
Boy,
because,
howdy.
You remember how great AJ Styles versus The Undertaker was as a movie? Little did you know that pretty much 25% of matches moving forward are going to be that same format and not even close as good.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, not everybody's going to be Undertaker and AJ. So that's, yeah, that. Who would have thought that those two guys could get that over? Boy, howdy. So, Tony, how do you grade this?
The piece of shit?
Yeah.
Oh, the non-tag team match that just didn't happen. I grade it 3 shits. Three shits. 1 out of 3 shits. I give that a full 3 shits. Right now, that is the front runner for my worst thing that's happened all year.
First of all, I would have to say that the winner would probably have to be the coronavirus.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I'm call me crazy. I think I got a dark horse pick for this. I think I got one that'll top that. But I'm giving this 1 shit.
It was worse than that.
It was bad?
No, it was bad.
But it didn't
really
ruin
bad.
WrestleMania. Like
the turkey leg Empire Strikes Back lightsaber spot, and then they followed it up with an octopus tentacle. Yeah. I'm sorry, no. Fuck this.
Because why not?
Fuck everything about this. And you know what that was? That was the lead-in for the greatest wrestling match ever.
Ever.
And apparently the definition, if you want to look it up in Webster's right now, if you look up the word greatest, the definition is from start to finish, the longest match ever. That's what that is. Because this thing went an hour and a half, it felt like. It might have only been like 40 minutes, but somehow it felt longer than their WrestleMania Falls Count Anywhere match. I don't know how they managed it, but they did. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was not a bad match. It was actually a fairly good match. But that being said,
howdy, Tom. Welcome to the show.
The best thing about this match was probably, for me, the Howard Finkel intros.
That was awesome. Howard Finkel giving the intros.
Yep.
That was, even in death, Howard Finkel gets to call some matches because he's called both of them before.
Right.
And, now, Tony, when it comes to rating it, how do you rate the greatest match ever?
Well, here's
how
the
do you
thing.
even start?
Well, after the Howard Finkel introduction, the MSG microphone, and that nostalgia, within 30 seconds, we had a cut. I shit you not, if you wouldn't be so kind, to a tie-up. And then the camera pans straight up between their legs to their faces doing the tie-up. And then it cut back, and there was no cameraman in the ring. So at that point, I knew, oh, that's what we're doing here. We're doing that. So then we watched this thing, and fine match. You know what? Fine. Two of the greatest of their generation, right? Doing their thing. You could tell that it was clearly a cut action cinematic match, but presented as an actual match. And then something happened about halfway through that thing, and you got about 20, 30 people in the audience of this show. And I noticed,
boy, crowd's really into it tonight, huh?
Yeah. Wait a minute. They're chiming in.
They're piping it in.
They're chiming in crowd noise from like Madison Square Garden and making it sound like there's 80,000 people when there's like 30. And that immediately took me right the fuck back out of this thing.
Well, I don't know, Tony. I mean, the crowd seemed really into it.
Yep, they sure did probably 20 years ago, whenever audio is from.
Every single wrist lock, every single hammer lock, every single suplex, every single person in that crowd sounded like they were at least 700 people. It was quite amazing. It was
if you took this match and you had Randy Orton do it and actually give a shit, because he clearly did for this, but again, who knows how many camera cuts there were. If you took this match and you put it in front of a crowd and you actually got that legitimate crowd reaction and you did it move by move, play by play, and you did this match, this may have been one of the best wrestling matches I could remember watching, but I could not get it out of my head that this was clearly all bullshit. I am rating this match. Oh, and by the way, Randy Orton won after Edge kicked out of 2 RKOs. Whoa. Randy Orton won.
Whoa.
Then he punted Edge in the head and won. And that was the end after like an eternity. And I give it 3.5.
3.5? Tony, that's very unfair to the greatest wrestling match ever of all time. Don't you think?
No.
3.5 is
Yep.
all I can get you to move.
Yep. 3.5.
I'm going to give it 3.75. It's a fine match. I'm going to put it up there with one of the greatest cinematic wrestling matches of all time, but maybe not the greatest match of all time.
I'm not even going to rate it as a cinematic, but it is.
I think we'd have to honorably mention it at the end of the year when we're talking about the greatest cinematic matches.
Fair enough.
And it's going to be between Stadium Stampede and Boneyard Match.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. And ain't a word, but no, it ain't.
But Stadium Stampede.
Fuck the Stadium Stampede. Fuck the Stadium Stampede. Fuck the Stadium Stampede. No, fuck this. Okay, we're live. We're live. We're live. There's people watching this right now. You know what? No.
Thank you for joining us.
Fuck you, Vince, and fuck you, Tony Khan, for both putting on a piece of shit cinematic match on pay-per-view that we all had to sit there and endure. Oh, the Money in the Bank match was a pile of shit because I'm an AEW fan. Well, I'm a WWE fan, and the Stadium Stampede match was a piece of shit. They were the same fucking match. They were the same fucking pile of shit match.
Feel better?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we will get into that at the end of the year, folks. But
join us in 6 months.
Yes, join us, but keep it right here for all the latest happenings in the world of wrestling. But also join us next week when Tony and I invade the ethereal as we go on a ghostly hunt. Yes, it's happening. Tony and I are gonna go to Iowa. Tony's part of a ghost hunting group. There we go. Get that big, beautiful label up there. What's that name, Tony?
Grip.
Ghostly Research and Investigation of the Paranormal.
There you go.
I have never been on one of these before, ever. I've heard about them. So Tony had some people that pulled out the last second. And so I was like, okay, I'm doing this.
So, yeah, we are officially moving on from wrestling tonight because I can't take no more. Yes, those of you who follow Big Bucket Entertainment on Facebook and all our many, many podcasts, and we dive into a lot of different things. So if you are following us there, follow us on YouTube at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, also on Spotify. Follow Phil, KOE Nation on YouTube.
Yes.
And, of course, GRIP, Ghostly Research, Investigation of the Paranormal, as this Friday coming up, June the 19th, we travel to Malvern Manor in Iowa. This will be a fun time. It'll be really, really interesting for Phil's debut. But jump back, Phil, sign us off for the wrestling because I am, 1 second, officially done with wrestling for tonight.
Ouch. Well, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for our review of Backlash 2020. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE. Please like, share, subscribe here at Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Like, share, subscribe at KOE Nation. Like on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to Big Bucket Entertainment on Facebook. Dog and Chicken Show on YouTube. Thank you, folks, for joining us. Please join us for all the future endeavors here at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. We've got a lot more to come, folks. Thank you for joining us. Catch you on the bend, folks. Wonderful.